Hello, 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 everyone. How is it going? Welcome to Friday Night Ops on VATSIM. We are in Australia, down under, way down under. So today we are gonna be Qantas Airlines, the Spirit of Australia today. And we are going to try our luck at VATSIM Ops. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get going in a little bit. We'll go ahead and request clearance. All right, we're on the Zibo 737-800. All right, so let's go. We are in the cockpit of this 737-800 now. And here we are. So we will go ahead and check the 80s. We will program this. So let's go ahead. I already got the 80s tuned. Just got the volume down.
First contact with Adelaide ground or approach. Notify receipt of information whiskey.
Whiskey.
Time check 0117 and a half.
0117.
Adelaide terminal information whiskey. Runway 05 and 12 for arrivals. Runway 05 for departures. Wind 060 degrees, 09 knots. Cav OK. Temperature 23. QNH 1023. On first contact with Adelaide ground or approach, notify receipt of information whiskey.
All right, information whiskey. So we can go to ground on 121.7 on ground.
Adelaide terminal information whiskey. Runway 05 and 12 for arrivals. Runway.
All right, there we are, 121.7. The QNH is 1023. All right. So let's go ahead and, ooh. What is that? Zibo views have changed. All right, here we go.
November 55 Bravo Sierra Bridge, I hold that flight Foxtrot 6.
All right, so let's go to FMC. We'll go ahead and program. So actually, let's go ahead and get this Zibo loaded. So we'll go here, fuel and balance, airside. We'll go next, load AFP and activate. There you go. So while that is working and being done,
21 clear to Melbourne, RD Bundle 3 departure, squawk 57, question 7217.
all right, we are
Q3, just R281.
white pad, Adelaide.
Star 281, thank you.
We are at gate 26. And we verify the time now. The time is correct. 0120 Zulu 0404. By the way, happy Independence Day, Senegal. Happy Independence Day to the nation of Senegal. All right, so we go to route of flight and we go to YPAD, request flight plan. So requesting flight plan here. We are going to, yep, let's load it. And we are Qantas 003. I was trying for Pan-African, but I couldn't reserve the aircraft. All right, so we'll go ahead and activate, execute, and then we'll go to departure. Departure, we have Bendo 3, and we will execute. And on the arrival for YMML, we are expecting, let's call it RB3, I believe. Or RB8 Alpha, we'll expect RB8 Alpha. Alright, so they say flying in Australia, we're going to pick up our clearance en route.
Hello, ground,
So,
Canadian 1984 on Bravo 2, we're up and around gate 12, just over there.
that's good there. All right. So going up, let's go ahead and align the IRSs.
And it's the last gate, just over there.
Come up here, yaw dampers, navigation IRS display switches are normal, normal, normal. Fuel pumps off for now. All right, I'm gonna try to be quick here.
I could have got off in about 1,500 meters, but tower seems all the way, so alright, I'll roll all the way. Ground for Qantas 609 is the ramp up control, they're on target for push.
Qantas 609, the ramp is controlled by
And we are flight level 330.
Qantas 609, thanks, push back approved.
Push back approved, Qantas 609.
Previous page. And so that is set. We're good. All right, let's go back and see what is our alternate airport today. Tab, web browser. Alternate airport is YMAV.
Velocity 413, Adelaide ground, good eye, Mike. We're calling to pick up IFR clearance over to, I believe it's Sydney.
There you go, YMAV.
413, Adelaide ground, good eye. Clear to Sydney via Abden,
We'll go to first in it. So we should be, we're being refueled right now. We should get a block fuel of 4,535. So we're being defueled,
Alrighty, we're clear
4,535.
to Sydney via the Avden 1 departure.
So
Squawk 4227118.2.
Ground to flight deck, fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Velocity 413, confirmed departure frequency.
All right, 4.6.
Thanks for tuning.
Now passenger loading is ongoing.
Alright, 05 for departure.
Cost
and
index
118.2
85.
for the
Actually,
departure
we're just
frequency
going
for
to
velocity
request this. I
413.
forgot about that.
Velocity 413, thank you.
Roger.
And we will have an arrival 1660 today. Load. And 1.6, so all of that is good. And we can go to N1 limit looking at this. So we're just going to be using our tablet. So we'll go, I believe, here.
Whiskey request accordance to the must be Jackson. Thank you very much.
Speedbird 828, stand by.
Stand by,
Alright,
Speedbird.
performance tools. Gonna populate from the last flight. We'll do optimum, disabled, improved climb. All right, so we are looking at a derated takeoff 155. All right, 88.8. So flaps 5.
Ground just 281, stand
Alright.
23, request position.
Runway wind 060 at 9er.
Star 281, hold position number 2.
Composition just 281.
And runway slope is 0.1. Runway slope 0.1.
Velocity 717, Gills 5, runway 05, score 3621, bay 13.
So up 0.1, and let's just call it 045 on the heading.
Speedbird 828.
Seabird 828, declared to Jackson's Airport via Orbit, South Andrew. Runway 05, Orbit 5 departure. Class 565.
Alright, let's go home. Let's look at our
1352.
Navigraph.
124, decimal 2.
So let's select our departures, maybe Bendo 3. Let's add route.
Cleared to the destination, score 1352. Use Oberon 5 departure.
Alright, Bendo 3 coming out of
125 decimal 2, Speedbird 828
runway
heavy.
5.
Oh, sorry, sir. Initial climber 5,000 feet. Speedbird 828 heavy.
Seabird 828, very close.
Gonna be after
124,
passing
decimal
Noble
2.
and 1700, turn right, track direct
Departure
roads.
frequency 124 decimal 2, Speedbird 828 heavy. Thank you, sir.
Seabird 828.
Don't have a max altitude here that I don't see. I don't see a top out altitude. Departure is 118.2.
60 Adelaide Grand, good day. Do you have a day of service? Jetstar 760, you can taxi Bravo 1 through the bay and just caution the
Alright, there we are, connected there.
Okay, we'll taxi Bravo 1 and just confirm to any bays. And ground, Qantas 609 with whiskey ready to taxi for Tango 1.
Qantas 609, stand by, break. Jetstar 760, FM, any bay.
Okay, thank you, Jetstar 760. Ground velocity is 717, request push bay 13.
Velocity 717, hold position number 2.
Alright, pretty soon we will be requesting pushback.
Foxtrot, cross runway 12, 20 point Foxtrot 6, runway 05.
Alright, we'll taxi Kilo Alpha Foxtrot, cross runway 129 to Foxtrot 6, hold short of 15, Qantas 609.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get this. Mini cockpit or mini FCU isn't quite working yet. We'll fix it.
Push bird velocity 717.
Alright, and we have V1 135 V135 VR 134. That doesn't make sense. And 139 for V2. Right. So we'll go ahead and set VNav, LNav. QRH is off, we're good. Use route copy. Then we'll go to route 2. Y-pad to Y-pad. And after being Y-pad to Y-pad, if we have a problem, we're gonna come back at the Y-pad. So
Star 281, sensitive patients, pushback approved.
Pushback approved, just start to 1.
leave it at arrival 12. So R now 12. Then legs. Next. It's pad we previous. There it is. Pad we is our return if we need to come back. All right. So shall we need to come back? Let's see. We're gonna go. Y-pad. All right. 05. And heading 044/25. So that would be our not in database. Okay, no worries. Okay. All right, we're almost ready here. Let's go ahead and turn on the APU. Mini FCU, mini cockpit ain't working.
Foxtrot, cross, runway 12, turning point Foxtrot 6, runway 05.
Left on the Bravo, Alpha Foxtrot, cross runway 12 to the Foxtrot 6, holding point 05, velocity 717.
Alright, we're gonna request the clearance.
609, connect Adelaide Tower 120.5. Have a good flight.
Alright, 20.5, going to 609, we'll see you later.
All right, I had to reset the stream just because of some lag issue. Hopefully it's better. Let's go ahead and get the clearance.
We've had 828 to pushback approved.
Pushback closing, so speed bar to a heavy.
Adelaide ground. Hello, this is Qantas 003 at stand number 26 with information whiskey requesting clearance to Melbourne.
Qantas 003, Adelaide ground, G'day, I'll send you an amended flight route.
Qantas 003, copy. He will send me an amended flight route. Alright. Alright, there it came.
Left on Kilo, Alpha.
Alright, Adelaide, Bendo, RB, direct and advise if we can take this.
Taxi Kilo Alpha Foxtrot cross runway 12, holding point Foxtrot 2 runway 05, just start to 81.
Alright, here's the route of flight. They changed it a little bit from
Qantas 003, advisory to copy.
All right. So it's gonna be let's see. Do flight plan request again.
Credits 003, credits available, advance when ready to copy.
All right, let's load it up. All right, route to YPad to YML. All right, and we're gonna do direct Adelaide, so it's gonna be a D. All right. The Adelaide VOR is going to be this one.
And velocity 413, stand at 12 Lima, ready for
And then
push.
Victor 255 to Bendo. So Victor
413, push back approved.
255.
Push approved, 413.
Velocity 717, connect Adelaide Tower, 120.45. Have a good flight.
Over to Tower 105, velocity 717 south.
See ya.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna execute this. So it's gonna be
Clearing runway 5, gate 13.
we're gonna delete everything and we're gonna program it manually.
You can make a right turn on Alpha and hold short Bravo.
Alpha, short of Bravo.
All right, here we go. So direct to Adelaide. All right, direct to Adelaide. And then we'll take Victor 255. So Victor 255. After that, we're gonna finish at Bendo. Old school programming. And after Bendo, Yankee 12. From Yankee 12, we're gonna finish at RB. And then from RB, we'll take Hotel 119. Hotel 119 to Melbourne. That's the Melbourne VOR. And then from the Melbourne VOR, we will be going direct. So let's execute that. It says insufficient fuel. Leg. Yep, so we're good there. Departure arrival.
At Adelaide grounds, morning Jetstar 806 to the Sunshine Coast, request airway
The
clearance.
cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Star 806, Adelaide Gun today, clear to Sunshine Coast Airport via upright flight landry, runway 05, upright to departure, climb via seat 5000, squawk 6074.
Alright, there you go.
Departure
And we'll
frequency
remove the
118,
Bendo 5.
Thanks very much, runway 05, clear to Sunny Coast via upright flight plan route, upright to departure, climb by seat 5000, code 607 and 4 departures frequency 118.2, bay 25, Jetstar 806.
Jetstar 806, thanks. Velocity 712, taxi Bravo to Bay 13. Have a good day.
Bravo to Bay 13, velocity 712,
There you go.
Velocity 413, we're ready for taxi with information, whiskey.
Velocity 413, hold position.
Hold position.
Alright, so that's good there.
Bed 828, taxi via Lima.
He did
Alpha,
not give me...
Foxtrot, cross runway 12, 3 points, Foxtrot 6, runway 05.
I don't have a heading on altitude.
Because we are Lima Alpha for shell cross runway
There's going to be departure.
Holding point
So-
Foxtrot 6, runway 05, 3 bar
Where
heavy.
is the Adelaide VOR?
Velocity
Yes,
413, defer to the company 737, taxiing inbound
So the
again.
Adelaide VOR
Taxi left on
is
Bravo,
the menu. Nope.
Correction. Taxi left on
Legs.
Bravo, Alpha, hold
In a
short.
minute. Been a minute since I flew this guy.
Already left Bravo, then Alpha, or short of Lima. Is that correct? For velocity 413.
Index,
Velocity 413, yeah.
nav data.
Alright,
So
first.
nav 8, we want the Adelaide VOR, which is 116.40.
281, connect Adelaide Tower, 120.5. Have a good flight.
120.5.
Alright, the Adelaide VOR is set, 116.40. That's good. Alright, so APU on the bus.
Start 760, we're at station 22 with IMR.
Alright, I think that's all good.
Jetstar 760, Adelaide Grand G'day, cleared to Sydney via Asden, flight plan route. Runway 05. Asden 1 departure. Climb via Sid 5000. Squawk 4306. Departure frequency 118. Decimal 2.
Alright.
Start 760, cleared to Sydney via the Aston 1 departure. Climb to 55,000, squawk 4306, and departure from 118.2.
And we are ready to request clearance and push back.
And ground Star 806 by 25, request pushback.
Jetstar 806, pushback approved, and just caution the British Airways 777.
Alright, caution the Speedbird by 25, pushback approved, Jetstar 806.
Adelaide ground, Qantas 003 with whiskey, ready to copy IFR clearance to Melbourne.
Qantas 003, apologies, just stand by for now. Break. Speedbird 828, you have the
Okay.
priority at the moment.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Disregard velocity 413, you can continue your taxi.
Second for 413.
Velocity 413, taxi Alpha, Foxtrot, cross runway 12, holding point Foxtrot 6, runway 05.
Already for 05, Alpha, Foxtrot 6.
All
hold
right.
port
Looks
for
like the
05.
doors and hatches are closed. We're
Velocity
ready to
413.
connect.
Speedbird 828, thanks for giving way. You can continue your taxi.
Roger, your taxi to be prior to heavy.
Qantas 003, clears available, advise when ready to copy.
Qantas 003, I'm ready.
Qantas 003, cleared to Melbourne via Bendo, flight plan route. Runway 05, Bendo tree departure. Climb via Sid 5000. Squawk 4210. Departure frequency 118.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected. 5 past pens inserted.
Clear
Go and kill the
to
parking brake when you're ready to go.
clear to Melbourne, Bendo 3, runway 05, initial altitude 5000, and we'll be climbing via Sid 4210, Qantas 003.
Qantas 003, just confirm departure frequency 118. Decimal 2.
118.2, we have that, Qantas 003.
Qantas 003, thank you.
Alright,
Adelaide ground, Jetstar 773.
he amended my flight plan route,
Jetstar 773, Adelaide
and
Grand.
then he gave me a nozzle clearance
Information Whiskey, High Park Max.
That's just
to,
nuts.
Miller.
But oh well.
Jetstar 773, Adelaide Grand G'day, cleared to Melbourne via Bendo, Flatland route, runway 05, Bendo 3 departure, come via SID 5000.
There you go.
4256.
And our squawk is 4210.
Decimal 2.
Velocity 413, did we cross 5, or correction, 12?
Velocity 413, affirm, cross runway 12.
Alright,
Alright, cross
4210.
Tiva Fox 413.
And just star 773, cleared out.
Adjust vertical speed. Adjust. Climb now. Climb now. Climb, crossing, climb, crossing, climb, clear of conflict. Descend, crossing, descend, crossing, descend now. Descend now. Increase climb, increase descent.
Alright, just
Increase
doing some
descent.
final checks,
Maintain
then we'll
vertical
go.
Speed. Maintain vertical speed. Crossing, maintain, monitor vertical speed. TCAS test, pass.
Adelaide, Grand, good afternoon. Velocity 213 with information Whiskey 103, correction 1023, requesting airways clearance to Sydney.
Wind shear.
Velocity 213, Adelaide Grand G'day, cleared to
Terrain.
via
Pull up. Obstacle.
runway 0,
Pull up. Airspeed low.
1 departure, come via SID 5000. 4033, departure frequency 118, decimal 2.
Clear to Sydney is filed. Runway 05, Ifton 1 departure, climb to 5000, squawk 4033, departure frequency 118, decimal 2, velocity 213.
Velocity 213.
And ground, Jetstar 8 Whiskey request taxi, intersection Foxtrot 5.
Alright, we're ready to push back.
Jetstar 806, get taxi left on Kilo Alpha.
Oh, let's go back and take a look at our taxi route.
Runway 05.
Thanks, by Kilo Alpha, Foxtrot, cross runway 12, holding point Foxtrot 5, runway 05, Jetstar 806.
There you go. Adelaide ground, Qantas 003, request push and start from stand 26.
Go in there, Jetstar 706, pushback approved. Qantas 003, hold position, estimate delay 2 minutes.
Copy, hold position, Qantas 003. Okay, hold position 2 minutes.
413 and Pittsburgh 828 on the turn. Connect Melbourne. Correction. Connect Adelaide Tower 120.45. Have a good flight.
120.5, velocity 413.
Right, let's get
make sure
our
good
transponder
feedback vehicles
to alt off.
Thank you.
120.7. Thank you, have a nice day. Sleep already, we're having.
To enjoy your flight.
Alright, should be able to remove the ground services. Yep, we don't have the ground services.
Pushback approved. Just try to avoid the Jetstar 8320 pushing back on the same taxiway.
Roger, we'll keep an eye on that Jetstar and avoid them. Pushback approved, Qantas 003. Alright, let's go.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Alright, let's go ahead and get started.
Hey,
Done Zibo for a long
Hey.
time.
hey, 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 hey. Quit blinding me with your landing lights. Turn them off.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had my landing lights on. fuel.
Jet Tower 760, no worries. All station. Adelaide Terminal Information X-ray now correct. But one change with Mr. Sound Dirty Word. Hang on.
X-ray. All right, we got a good start. Let's start number 1. All right, got a good push right now. Good engine start for the most part.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Brake set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Adelaide ground. G'day, New Zealand 1983.
New Zealand 1983, Adelaide Ground, g'day.
G'day, we're at gate 12, clearance to Sydney and Miles. And we have got
Right.
Adelaide Whiskey
We are
102
looking for a trim of
1983,
5, which we have.
1023.
All right, flight controls check.
And we're
Left.
disconnected. Signal and pin on the
Right.
right. Take it easy and have a
Neutral.
safe flight.
Pull
Put
down,
on a white bed and copy X-ray
pull up,
1023.
neutral, further, pull left, pull right, neutral.
Adelaide ground,
Flight control
g'day,
check completed.
418 vacated Bravo 2, request taxi to the bay.
Velocity 418, Adelaide Ground, g'day.
All right, recall, check, no lights, so we'll do
No, we don't.
terrain
Velocity
radar, weather radar.
Velocity 418, roger, taxi, Bravo 1 to the bay. Have a good day.
Bravo 1 to the bay, velocity 418, we'll see you on the way out.
Adelaide ground, Qantas 003 X-ray, ready to taxi.
Two stations in ahead, Qantas 003.
Qantas 003 with X-ray, ready to taxi.
Qantas 003, taxi left on Kilo, Alpha, Foxtrot, hold short, runway 12.
Left Kilo Alpha Foxtrot, hold short runway 12, Qantas 003.
Jetstar 760, follow the Qantas 737-8, and hold short, runway 12.
Jetstar 773, repro perspective start plane.
Jetstar 773, Foxtrot Charlie, push back brake.
We'll fix that. Push back. Jetstar 773. And ground, howdy, Jedi 69 Heavy and 4 Alpha. We didn't get our PDC, so we're looking for clearance on voice. We have X-ray.
Jedi 69, Adelaide Ground, hello, cleared to Melbourne via Bendo, flight Andrew, runway 05, Bendo tree departure, Carnival fire sid 5000, Squawk tree 652, departure frequency 118, destination.
Jedi 69 cleared to Melbourne, Bendo, Bendo 3 departure. Initial climb 5,000 feet, departures with 118.2, squawk 3652, Jedi 69 heading.
Jedi 696. East West 198.3, clearance available, advisement ready to copy.
Yep, go the clearance feed for the 198 tree.
East West 198.3, cleared to Sydney via Aston, flight Andrews, runway 05.
Alright, so we're gonna...
Climb 5,000. Squawk 327 departure frequency 118.
Foxtrot, we hold short.
Clear to Sydney as well, the FDM1 departure runway 05, departure formulated for squawking 3273, 198
East West 198.3, thank you.
And ground Jedi 69 heavy for Alpha, ready for engine start.
Jedi 69, engine start.
Engine start for Jedi 69.
Request 003, cross runway 12, taxi, holding point Foxtrot 6, runway 05.
Cross 12, taxi to holding point, runway 05, holding point 6, minus 003.
Jet 760,
Approaching 1, 2.
cross runway 12,
Alright, we're clear to cross the runway. Strobe lights on. Alright, holding point 6. Alright, strobe off. Right. Flight attendants, be seated for departure. Alright, so we'll follow this until the end of the runway.
Jetstar 773, ready for taxi.
Jetstar 773, taxi, left on Kilo, Alpha, Foxtrot, hold short, runway 12.
Kilo, Alpha, Foxtrot, hold short, 12, Jetstar 773.
All stations stand by, control line coordination with program. Jetstar 760 and connect 003, connect. Well, connect Adelaide Tower, 120.45. Enjoy your flight. Okay.
Thanks, Adelaide Tower 20.5, 1003. Ooh, 8380. Adelaide Tower, hello, 1003, holding short, runway 005. Up from 6.
003, Adelaide Tower, good day, runway 05,
Runway 05, line up and wait, 1003. Clear left, clear right. Yeah, and track that right. Clear on the approach. Cabin is advised. Runway
Approaching
005.
05.
Hold and line up and wait. Caution, wait turbulence.
On runway 05.
There we are.
Just to confirm you make a fucking Delta 1. I need a full negative, you can roll all the way to the end of Bravo 2. Roger. Sorry if I'm blocking the one. Uniform, no problem.
So just waiting on this A380 to vacate.
On runway 05. On runway 05.
Contact ground 121, Contact 121, second, thank you. Next one, top up. 003, runway 05.
Runway 05, clear takeoff, 1003. All right. Here we go. Take off. Airspeed alive.
80 knots.
Check. Power set.
D1.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
$400. $1,000.
Check. Departure, good day, 1003. Adelaide departure, hello, Qantas 003, information, X-ray climbing through 1,800 for 5,000 on the Bendo 3.
Qantas 803, Adelaide approach, g'day, identify, climb by seat flight level 240.
Climb via seat to flight level 240, 1003. Right, flaps 1. Check, flaps 1. One of my rarest takeoff in the continent of Australia. Flaps up. Speed check, flaps up. Is that standard?
And so just size 6 approaching flight level southward approach, rather just size 6 approaching flight level 243. Just 806, my apologies, contact center 123.05, good day. 123.05, happy 8, so just size 6.
Right. Nicely climbing.
Just 760, Adelaide approach, g'day, identified, climb via seat, flight level 240.
Is that command A? There you go, command A. And let's go back.
And just 760, cancel speed restrictions below 10,000 and clear direct Averton planned route.
Alright, we are 3,000 on the cabin altitude. No. Almost 2,000 on cabin altitude and 3 on the disk pressure. Alright, let's go to weather radar. Cool, fly by. Traffic around me. Alright, 10,000. Landing lights off, and we will turn off the engine start switches. Yeah, we are just proceeding on course.
Just 773, Adelaide approach, g'day, identified, climb via seat, flight level 240, cancel speed restrictions. Cancel by 0, cancel speed,
We'll do route copy. Then let's go to route 2. Right, what runways are arrival at Melbourne? Runway 9er at Melbourne. Let's look at the 80s at Melbourne. So 80s for VATSIM. Yeah, runway 09. Victor, approach, expect GLS or RNP approach. We're not GLS equipped. Yeah, we're not GLS equipped. Runway 09er. Simultaneous independent crossing. Wind 160 at 15. Cab temperature 16. QNH 1028. So we can set QNH 1028 because it's a very short flight.
Qantas 803, contact Melbourne Centre 123.05, g'day.
so that's good there.
Qantas 003, contact Melbourne Centre 123.05, g'day.
Melbourne Center 23.05. Good day, Qantas 003. Melbourne Center, hello, Qantas 003, leaving flight level 165 for flight level 240.
003, g'day, climb level 370.
Climb flight level 370, Qantas 003.
785, stand by star 9000, go to 1023. Star 785, stand by star 9000, go to 1023.
All right, so we're heading up there.
Movement 828, identification, control 778 and 323.
So normally in Australia, they don't tell you your star, I guess, according to the briefing. The star will be provided to us.
That later information, you can't get a change, 7.24. Star 774, contact Adelaide approach 118. Approach 118.
So temperature is 16. All right, what did I say? That should be all right, elevation 330. ISO deviation 1. We go to VNAV. Next. Forecast. So this is 1 and 1028. We'll populate the winds. Load the winds.
760 Melbourne Centre, climb 2, flight level 370.
Execute. Alright, so all of that is good. Pressurization.
Qantas 16 Kilo Lima, descend by star 9000.
We're about 5,000. Right, looking good so far. We can start thinking about the landing performance and all. Look at this. So I guess I'll be getting a second center control.
09, descent to flight level 130. Johnson 130, Qantas 609.
Got traffic in front of me.
That's 773 Melbourne Centre, climb to flight level 330. Climb 330, star 773.
330. Right, almost in cruise, guys. Actually quieter than I thought it would be. If we're taking runway 9er, only 7,500 feet. And we can plan to exit at the end. So we'll do auto brake 1. So runway elevation 330, enter. And length is 2,286. Right. And it's gonna be VMC on the arrival or approach. Let's put some fixes for Melbourne, YMML. $30. 15 and 5. We are almost at cruise. One thousand to go.
Been a good idea, so 198 train passes 190 coming to 0 tracking. Is it 198 Melbourne Center, climb to flight level 350. 350, diesel 198. Jetstar 281. Cancel the holds. Reclear direct to RV to rejoin the Star. Descend to flight level 250. Cancel the hold. Redirect to RV, then descend to level 250 to start.
There is holding going on, huh?
Diesel 1 and I would like to change it. Train.
Diesel 1 I climb flight level 330.
330 Diesel 1 and
All right. We're gonna take arrivals. We're gonna pretend or plan for RB8.
On 609, resume on navigation, reclear direct to RB to rejoin the star.
Alright, Director RB, rejoin the star at 1609.
On 003, contact me on 132.6, expect star.
132.6, we'll expect star. 1003.
On 609, reduce speed to 250 knots.
We're getting too fast here at the speed at 169.
Affirm, 118.2, turning off now.
And control 1003 with you at flight level 370.
1003, you cleared the RB8 Alpha arrival, runway 09er. When ready, descend to flight level 250.
Clear to RB8 Alpha arrival, runway 09er, and ready, when ready, descend to 250, 1003. We have our descent to 250. Let's go ahead and set it up. All right, we'll go ahead and departure arrival. Since we are not capable GLS, we will do RNAV and RB8 Alpha and no transition. Route, just execute.
Albert, Jetstar 773, 330.
Jetstar 773, you're cleared the RB8 Alpha arrival, runway 09er, maintain flight level 330.
Cleared RB8 Alpha arrival, runway 09er, and maintain 330, just move to 6.
On 609, descend to 9000, QNH 1027.
9000, 1027, the altimeter, quarter
609, resume normal speed.
All right, RB Tonka. Make sure it's correct. RB 8000 above, Tonka between 5 and 9.
Kilo Lima, call approach 1320. Jedi 69, Melbourne Center, climb to flight level 330.
Alright, let's go ahead and check the approach.
Jedi 69, climb
We'll
to flight
do
level 330.
RNAV at final.
I got you 5x5. Jetstar 281, descend to flight level 130.
So L now, B now, 760.
Just on to 81. Qatari 988, contact me 123.05, expect star. 123.05, expect star,
We go 760 for our minimum barrel. And let's brief the arrival. So it's gonna be really what, 3 degrees. Arrive at 3000 at the Gupug, and then descend on a heading of 083. That's good there. So we'll go ahead and set 083 course. Course, right? And Melbourne, we're gonna have 1.5 of fuel. So we're gonna lose 1000 at Melbourne. So if we lose 1000, we're gonna be 56.6 tons. We're gonna go flaps 30. That gives us a VAP of a VREF of 138 and a VAP of 143. Right, let's go for the descent checklist. Pressurization, landing altitude. Pressurization is set. We got landing altitude to 350. And anti-ice is not required. Approach briefing has been completed. We'll have 1.5 of fuel. And DREF bug flaps 30. 138.
Sorry, on a 740 over center, find flight level 350.
And on the 80s, it's the Yankee.
On a 609, call approach 1320. Alright, 32,000, have a good day, on a 609. Good day. Yes, alright, 06, no further ATC, control service terminated, frequency transfer. Yes, alright, 806, no further ATC, control service terminated, frequency transfer. Yes, alright, 06. Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet, contact me on correction 132 days moment. Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet, contact me on 132 days moment. 32132.
All right, so we have whiskey and 120.7.
81. Descend 5-star to 9,000, QNH 107. Descend west star 9,000, 1027, just down to 81. Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet, Super, Melbourne Center. Good day, Jetstar 441, 320. Jetstar 441, Melbourne Center. On a 63 Super Melbourne Center. 65.
Right.
New Zealand 1983, contact me on 13286. 13. On 740 Melbourne Centre. On 740, just confirming, have I cleared you to 350 yet? Perfect, thanks. New Zealand 1983.
All right, we have started our descent.
On a 65 Melbourne Centre. On a 003, new star when you're ready.
Ready to copy, Qantas 003.
On a 003, you reclear the RB8 Alpha arrival, runway 16, and flight level 250.
Clear RV8 Alpha runway 16, flight level 250, Qantas 003. Right, we have runway 16, that was change of runway. Right. Go back and airport. Light changing to runway 16 now. Take Zulu 16.
Call approach 1320. 1220, just out to 81.
Alright, so now ILS Zulu 16, we are looking at 640.
On a 003, apologies. We're just trying to work out the sequence. You recleared the RB8 Alpha for 09er and got no further change.
Qantas 003, no worries, we cleared RB8 Alpha 09er. Qantas 003. Alright, re-cleared.
003, when you're ready, descend to flight level 130.
Roger, descend to flight level 130, Qantas 003.
Just Jetstar 773, when ready, descend to flight level 250.
Alright.
When ready, 250. Qatar 988, descend 5 star 9 or 1000, QNH 1023. Jetstar 9000, QNH 1023, set down on January 9. Thank you. Jedi 69er, contact me on 132, they expect
Alright, 130 is set.
Melbourne Center, g'day. Again, velocity 417 on climb to flight 170 for 250. Velocity 417, Melbourne Center.
Melbourne Center, velocity 213 with you, passing flight level 191.
Velocity 213, Melbourne Center, climb to flight level 370, and turn left heading 060.
Climb 370, left 060, velocity 213.
Velocity 417, climb to flight level 370.
Climb flight level 370, velocity 417.
Alright, we've been re-cleared to
Jedi 69er, clear the RB8 Alpha arrival, runway 09er, maintain flight level 330. Jetstar 773, before separation, descend now to flight level 310. Down to 310.
Alright, what we got? What we got?
441, star clearance available.
Jetstar 441.
Jetstar 441, RB8 Alpha arrival, runway 09er, flight level 320.
RB8 Alpha, runway 09 and maintain 320, Jetstar 441.
Emirates 6588. Contact me on 132.6 and expect star.
Alright, 132.6 and we'll expect star, Etihad 6588.
On a 740, contact me on 132.6.
Melbourne Center, Etihad 6588, flight level 370.
Etihad 6588, you're cleared the RB8 Alpha arrival, runway 09er, maintain flight level 370, advise your Mach number when you're in.
Alright, RB8 Alpha, expect
see what
runway
our
09er,
transition
and
is.
we'll maintain 370. We are currently
Transition
at
10,000.
0.80 for Etihad 6588.
Etihad 6588, for sequencing, reduce to Mach base 774.
Alright, for sequencing 77 last Etihad 6588.
Jetstar 773, descend to flight level 130 when ready.
Alright, bud. That speed of yours. Killing it.
Tango Bravo, call me on 13, correction 123.05.
Yeah, good be now on the distance. What we want, this speed is not good.
73.
So we want to do, let's say, 290.
When ready. 130 when ready.
Execute.
Mainboard Center, FNO, this is Jetstar 078, passing 1,600.
Jetstar 0718, contact Adelaide departure, 118, stage 2.
Roger, 118, this 120, Jetstar 078, thank you, over.
Those are some Danans calling. Share cockpit.
Jedi 69 heavy, go ahead. Jedi 69, stand by.
Was 09er, 13 knots
Tango Bravo,
crosswind,
Todd 16 arrival.
9 knot head.
Maintain flight level 40. On it 003, descend to 9,000, QNH 1027.
9,000, 1027, 1003. Alright, 9,000 and 1027.
2740, Melbourne Center.
Just on 441, request 2 minutes out.
Jetstar 441, advise once you're back.
Roger.
Alright, we're passing flight level 170. Been cleared down to 9,000. Transition is 10,000.
New Zealand 1983, advise once you're back.
Recall check. Australia.
Jedi 69 to reclear the RV 8 Alpha arrival runway 16, and when ready, descend to flight level 50. Yeah, no problem. 1003, call approach 1320, good night.
Approach 32 nothing. Good night. 1003. Approach hello. Qantas 003 RB 8 Alpha leaving flight level 137 for 9,000. We have whiskey.
On 003, Melbourne approach, clear direct to Pava, descend to 5,000 from way 09, expect RV approach.
Direct Opava 5,000. Expect RNP approach 09. Qantas 003. Alright, direct Opava.
Descend on 3,000, clear RV approach on way 09.
Send 3,000 via the Star and RV approach 09, FedEx 121.
Alright, there you go, Opava.
Jetstar 281, contact Melbourne Center, 1209, 120.5, Jetstar 281, bye-bye.
Alright, let's test standard.
Descend 5,000, 6,000. And then pilot start on 6,000.
Landing lights on. We will be on the ground shortly. All right, we got the tower frequency 120.5. What is the ground frequency? All right, ground is 1217.
Contact Melbourne Tower 120.9. Melbourne Tower.
Right, Melbourne VOR 114.1. Very nice. All right, let's see. Shall we do this thing right here? Ooh, this helps me actually set up my views. Yeah. There you go. All right, there we are.
On station, Melbourne Terminal Information, X-ray now current with 150 degrees, 16 knots, temperature 18, day 3, and be advised, day 321 recorded, 1 radar to shoot wind shear 2 mile final, runway 09.
Low level wind shear 3 miles final.
3000, clear down the approach, runway 09.
Was that for Qantas 003?
Qantas 003, A7, descend via star 3000, clear down the approach, runway 09.
Descend via star 3000, clear RNP 09er approach Qantas 003. All right. Alright, let's slow her down to 210 knots. Direct up can, Qantas 003.
Next 121, contact Melbourne Tower 120.53.
Over to Tower 120.5, thanks 121. Thanks for the ATC, g'day.
Right, direct to up can. Then we'll join final. Further down to 190. Take class 1. He check class 1.
2,500.
Radio altimeter alive.
Thousand to go.
Right, we'll switch to terrain. Then he should give us to tower here shortly. And we are gonna be 138. VAP is 143. Low level wind shear at 3 mile final. Out cold. Alright, we are on RNP approach, but we are equipped with IAN. So it's gonna act like a localizer. So let's arm approach. We have final approach force and glide path.
Contact Melbourne approach, pressure Melbourne Tower, 120.5.
Melbourne Tower, 120.5. Good day, 1003.
Okay.
Melbourne Tower, FedEx 121 going missed due to wind shear.
Ooh, FedEx going missed due to wind shear.
Published, approaching future.
And for us, if we go missed, it's gonna be track direct 083 climb to 4000. Melbourne Tower, hello, Qantas 003 RNP 09er.
FedEx 121 maintain runway heading climb 6000.
Climb 6000, maintain runway heading FedEx 121.
Melbourne Tower, Qantas 003 RNP 09er.
FedEx 121 contact Melbourne approach 132.0.
132.0, FedEx 121.
Last station in there, say again.
Qantas 003 short final RNP 09er.
1003 runway 09 clear to land.
Runway 09 clear to land. Qantas 003.
Calling 15 runway 16 clear for takeoff.
Let's take off 16 kilo 15.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, missed approach altitude set.
Flaps. Flaps.
But eclipse this guy.
That's not 255 Melbourne Tower, line up right runway 16.
Alright.
Approaching 09.
Landing checklist, landing gear down, 3 green, speed brake is armed, auto brake level 1, flaps 30, landing checklist completed, low level wind shear reported, missed approach is straight out,
400.
Throttle off.
Approaching decision height. Minimum.
Landing.
400, 300, 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
5,000 feet remaining.
Like 1514, contact departure. Oh, departure 2 is 1514.
80 knots.
1003, vacate Papa, contact ground 21.7.
Papa, then ground 121.7, Quanta 003.
1,000 remaining.
Power corner 443, we're 2.5 miles. That's 443. Velocity 682, ASAM, if you're able, I'll give you Roger, thank you. We'll be ready in about 2 minutes. We just need to run the numbers like again. Get 2323, push back first. Push back first,
Melbourne ground, hello, Qantas 003, Papa vacated runway 09er.
Qantas 003, taxi to Bay Charlie 4.
Taxi to Bay Charlie 4, Qantas 009er. Well, one person should have been ready for that. Chart, taxi. Hopefully there's nobody behind me. All right, Charlie 4. Oh boy.
Velocity 682, fully ready. Velocity 682, estimated delay 6 minutes. Roger. Walker 3957, pushback approved, disconnect Tango 2.
Alright, mass caution, anti-ice.
Ground corners 40, Walker 3943, position you on, Quebec, any game. Say again? Corners 443, we're clear of 927 on Quebec, we'll take any. Corner 003, you're instructed to taxi to Bay Charlie 4, you just missed it. Take right, taxi to Bay Charlie 3.
Take right to Bay Charlie 3. Yeah, we just realized I was about to call you. Sorry about that. Qantas 003.
Qantas 443, taxi to Bay Bravo 26. Taxi to Bay Bravo 26,
Alright, yeah, we just...
Qantas 444 on Tango, ready for taxi.
Just missed our gate for Bay.
Qantas 444, stand by. Melbourne ground Singapore 208 on Sierra, ready for taxi. Singapore 208, taxi by uniform Alpha, hold short runway 09.
Alright, Charlie 6.
Uniform Alpha, hold short runway 09, Singapore 208. Singapore 208, confirm squawking 12.
Charlie 7.
Squawk 1242, Singapore.
Alright, flight attendants, disarm doors and slides.
All stations, information Yankee now, current Nelson, quick changes. Qantas 444, taxi via Tango, hold short Alpha.
Taxi via Tango, hold short Alpha, Qantas 444.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are arriving. Hopefully you have enjoyed your flight.
Jetstar 522, squawk my Charlie. Jetstar 522, pushback approved. Ground, Jetstar 2323.
Alright, we have done 1 hour since takeoff.
Jetstar 2323, taxi by Tango, hold short Alpha. Taxi via Tango, hold short Alpha, Jetstar 2323.
Oh, APU not on the bus. Rookie mistake. APU not on the bus.
57, taxi by Tango, hold short Alpha.
Tango short of Alpha,
All right.
Melbourne ground Singapore 208, holding short on Alpha.
Excellent. Connecting this gateway. We come in, turn everything off, get the GPU online,
Ground, Jetstar
and the APU to off.
of 09. Jetstar 773, taxi by Papa, hold short Tango. Papa, hold short Tango, Jetstar 773.
All right, all of these are good. Go back and check. I mean, we could do a replay. Approach was great. Landing was excellent. Yeah, that was a butter landing. The approach was not so great.
Singapore 208.
Yeah, approach rating, high rate of descent below 1,000, and exceeded the VOMO speed. Otherwise, the landing was outstanding. 5 stars.
Singapore 208, cross runway 09.
Yeah, not bad.
09, Singapore 208.
First time in Melbourne. This is all VATSIM flights. This is all VATSIM.
Walker 3957, taxi at holding point Echo, runway 16.
Taxi holding point Echo, runway 16, Walker 257.
There is a Walker taxiing to holding point runway 16.
444, taxi at holding point Echo, runway 16.
Taxi holding point Echo, runway 16, Qantas 444.
Ground, good afternoon, Sun 877 on Papa for hotel base.
Very good.
9877.
Alright, people.
Jetstar 773, taxi via Tango.
Let's disconnect
Victor,
and do a replay.
Yankee, hold short Alpha.
Haven't done replay for a long time.
Tango Victor, Yankee, hold short Alpha, Jetstar 773. Mobile ground, Qantas.
Alright, we disconnected, and there you are. All of the traffic is gone. It was all VATSIM. view. Not bad. Not bad. In a minute, since I've flew to zero. One pass. Oops. Those views are not good. Drop that gear. There you go. Here was the touchdown zone. Roughly. So right here we should have a good view. Hey, Captain Al, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Wow, this was crosswind. Look at that. We didn't correct for the crosswind, but Woo! Okay, we didn't correct for the crosswind though. Every time I do that, I mess it up. All right. Well, my friends, we'll leave it at it, and we are gonna see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Ciao, good weekend. Happy Independence Day to Senegal. Happy Easter to our Catholic brothers and sisters. And enjoy spring break for those of you who are on spring break. Bye-bye.